The views and opinions of the following program is not necessarily those of WOKB, staff, and management of Unity Broadcasting.
Welcome to RealEstateCentralFlorida.com with Harry and Jaslyn Bing of Bing Home Advisory Group and Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, your radio realtor.
Good morning, Central Florida. This is Jaslyn Bing of the Bing Home Advisory Group, where we are home of the Guaranteed Sale Program. That's where we will sell your home at a price 100% acceptable to you, or we'll buy it or even pay the difference in cash. Good morning, Glenn. How are you?
Hey, Jaslyn, how you feeling this morning?
Feeling good, feeling good. Glad the storm wasn't too bad.
Oh, man,
You know?
Nicole.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
was it longer than Ian? Didn't it seem like it lasted longer to you?
I can't say for sure, but Ian was harder.
Yeah,
it was a harder hit.
was.
But hopefully everyone else is okay.
I
Not too
know.
much flooding.
I
I
know.
haven't seen too much. Hopefully everyone's okay.
I know. I saw you talking on social media about rent to own. Can you talk
Yes.
more about that?
Yes,
Rent to own.
yes.
Okay.
So we actually just closed a rent to own deal. Working on another one right now. Guys, this rent to own program we're working with, it's actually a couple different companies. It's a good option depending on what you have going on. So what rent to own does is it allows prospective buyers to lease a property with an option to buy. Now, different companies have different rules. You have some companies, like I mentioned, you have the option to buy. Others you do not have to buy. Some companies, when they're collecting that monthly rent from you, a portion of that is kind of like going to a little savings account for you. So when you do come to purchase the home in whatever time period you all decide, that some of that money will be given back to you for your down payment. So it's helping you save. Now, rent to own is mainly for people that have to, work on a little bit of credit. Maybe they have to do just a couple small things with their income, like they make the income. Maybe it's just the documentation or the work history or something of that nature, where it requires them a little bit more time before they're able to buy. So that's who the rent to own is for. It's not for, if you don't make enough money to buy right now and then your credit's not good, because you still have to get qualified. You still have to get qualified. Each program has their own qualifications. So again, some of the ones that we work with have a variety of different options. So how it works is that the buyer and the seller will establish a purchase price for the home, and you will still act as the buyer in some aspects, okay? So you're still going to pick out the home, you're going to do the home inspection. But then the company you're working with, the rent-to-own company, they're going to have their own in-house appraisal, because they're paying cash for the house. So they're going to have their own in-house appraisals that's going to go out there, determine the value of the property. And usually they do that prior to even let you write the contract. They want to say, okay, what's the expected value of this home? Is it going to hold its value? And that's another thing that these companies are looking at right now. Of course, over the past year and a half, prices have just been going straight up. So they know that we're having a market correction. Again, that's what I call it, a market correction right now, price correction.
It's really PC.
Yeah, so the prices are coming back to where they should be, and that's what's happening. We'll talk about that in a second here. So these companies, they'll do their own market analysis to determine, if it's a good buy or not, and that kind of gives you some security as well, and then they'll let you know if they'll allow you to make that offer on the home. So again, you got two different type of rent to own agreements. Some are the lease option that gives you the option to buy the home. Others are the lease purchase agreements, which give you the obligation to buy the home. Okay, so some are options, some you're obligated. Okay, so that's one thing to keep in mind. Now, some of the pros of doing the rent to own, if you have that bad credit you need to work on, you're also able to lock in a particular purchase price. So you're not concerned about that price moving on you. You can kind of test drive the house before you buy it.
I like that.
We don't like to really
that.
say that, but you can kind of test drive the house before you buy it. And then, of course, you don't have to make that big move twice. So, while you're working on your credit, you don't have to move from this apartment complex to just doubled the rent, or I've spoken to I don't know how many people in the past week that have just said the rent's going up $500-$600. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then you're still building that equity. So guys, if you are interested in rent to own, or if you just want more information, maybe see if you qualify, give me a call, 407-906-8886. That's 407-906-8886.
Jaslyn, how are sellers doing in this market?
Sellers, let me say, some sellers are getting a reality check, okay? Like I just mentioned, over the past year and a half, prices were just shooting up, and that was due to a significant increase in demand. Now, when we were going through COVID, you had a lot of political things going on. People had different feelings on different things. So we had a lot of people from the West Coast and from up north flocking to Florida, flocking to Texas, okay? And that's because, even though we feel the increase in inflation is here, our cost of living is still significantly lower than a lot of other states, and we don't see that because we're used to this. But compared to New York, California, LA, San Diego, our cost of living is significantly lower than some of these other parts of the country. So when we had all these people flocking here, that's what drove up our prices, as crazy as they were. When you had people bidding 25 grand over, 30 grand over, 40 grand over, a lot of people had money, before this change in economy. I'll leave it at that. A lot of people cashed out on crypto, on their stocks when everything was higher. So many cash buyers. But guys, that frenzy, I'm here to say it's over. It is over, okay? Back then, we were getting 15, 20 offers on the property. Believe on one, we got like 26, 27 offers. That's not the case. Now, yes, sellers are still getting offers on their home. They're getting multiple offers. It's still a good market for sellers, but it's important that they don't expect that frenzy. So some tips we have for sellers right now. It is important that off the bat, you price your home right. Don't come in trying to be greedy. I actually saw one home when I was looking at houses for a client the other day. There's one home that's been on the market for, oh goodness, how long was it? Maybe about 6 months. They've been through 3 different realtors I can see, and they have kept the price the same. So what that's telling me is that these realtors are saying that this price too high. This price too high. And I know it is because that home was priced at about $360,000. And we had an identical home in the community priced at $300,000. So they're priced too high. Nobody's going to pay 60 grand over. You can't even get qualified or approved. You can't get that loan approved at 60 grand over. The appraiser's not going to allow that. So guys, as sellers, it is so important that you price your home correctly the first go round, because depending on your situation, if your home's sitting vacant, if you need a quick sale, you're losing out on buyers, because now when other people come look at those homes who don't quite do the research we do, they're just going to say, wow, this house been on the market for 5-6 months. What's wrong with it? Look good, but something's obviously wrong with it, because as we know, Orlando's still hot. Houses aren't sitting. If they are, something wrong with it. Either that or they're priced too high. So it's very important that you price your home correctly when it first goes on the market. The goal of pricing in your home is to gain attention of prospective buyers and to get them to make an offer, okay? That is the goal. But how do you know that perfect number? How do you figure out that number? That's where your trusted real estate agents come in, guys. When you're looking at these online companies, I don't want to say I'm on air, but when you're looking at these different online companies, everyone has their own agendas, so some of them, they're going to price it higher, because they want you to buzz into their websites. When you're going to these other sites that are, paying cash for your home, we'll buy the home. You can still stay in it for 3 months, 2-3 months, blah, blah, blah. You're losing $70,000, $80,000. Like, they're making lowball offers because, of course, that's how they make their money, And at the same time, a lot of these larger companies, we're seeing they're not buying houses anymore. They have stopped that, and I just closed a deal with one of these companies that bought a larger home. My client bought it. I don't know how they made any money. Glenn, I looked at the numbers. It was not looking good for them.
They just
price reduction.
They just wanted to be done with it.
Yes, they got price reductions. They had things they had to fix. We got credits.
Wow.
You know, it was a lot. It was a lot. On top of them paying out commission, it was a lot. I don't see how they were making any money. So I definitely see a halt in these big companies buying these homes. Another thing, sellers, when you're getting ready to list that home, keep it clean. Keep it clean. You know, you also want to make repairs and minor updates. If you want top dollar for that home, and everybody wants top dollar for that home unless you're doing a quick sale. If you want top dollar for that home, you can't just put it on the market like you could, you know, a year and a half ago. People are looking at these homes. And yes, you know, they understand, okay, we may need to paint. Okay, we may need to, you know, replace this bathroom cabinet. But if it gets to be too much stuff, they're walking. They're moving on to the next house.
Jazz, people always like it when you and your dad give them tips on saving. Mm-hmm. Do you have some tips for anybody trying to save money?
Oh, Glenn, we got plenty of tips for people trying to save money. So one thing about saving, you know, we listen to Dave Ramsey a lot, but it's important to keep our eyes open to all over the place. But one of the biggest things, or one of the biggest ways people can save money or help kind of get a little extra money, is if you're utilizing credit cards, use the cards with the perks. You know, and you have to kind of watch. So if you have different cards, some may offer 3 times the point at grocery stores. Another may offer 3 times the point at the gas stations. You need to keep track of that. So maybe make a little cheat sheet to put in your wallet. Use this card for groceries. Use this for gas. Use this for restaurants. Because why not get that money back? Why not get that money back? You know, it seems so small, but then after 3 months, you go and look at your credit card statement. Oh, wow, I got $200 in points. You know, came out of nowhere, especially if you spend a lot of your money on credit cards. Me, I don't really use cash. I use cards because, of course, I like the points. Use those points. Save that money. Save that money. Why not do it? Another thing, master the 30-day rule. So when it comes to buying large or big ticket items, you know, don't make that decision sporadically. You know, you really want to sit down, think about it, look at how it will impact you financially, and give it some time. A lot of times after you wait that little bit of period, you'd be like, I really don't need it. You know, it would be nice, and then you forgot about it, or you're on to something else. If you're like me, I'd be on to something new, Glenn. I don't know what's wrong with me, especially when it comes to projects in the house. Me and my sister-in-law, we are very handy. We are doing projects. Actually, this weekend, I think we got a project planned.
What are y'all doing?
We're not going to talk about it. We be building stuff all throughout the house, but that's what we do. So, guys, but that's low cost, okay? I will say that is low cost. We have the tools, we have everything there, but when it comes to those big purchases, guys, give it a little bit of time, sleep on it, think on it, look at how it'll impact you financially. If you want some more tips on saving a home, if you want some information on the rent to own program, sellers, if you're looking at even possibly selling your home, you want to get a free home evaluation, completely free, no obligation, give us a call, 407-906-8886, 407-906-8886. You all have a blessed weekend. I'm headed to Starbucks.
Each and every Friday at 7:45, they power Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell right here on Inspiration 1680. Get on the road to home ownership with Jaslyn Bing of Bing Home Advisory Group and your home sold guaranteed realty, your radio realtor. 407-906-8886, 407-906-8886. Or you can call the studio before Jazz leaves, 407-894-1680. Join us again next week for realestatecentralflorida.com with Harry and Jaslyn Being of Being Home Advisory Group and Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, your radio realtor. They can be reached at 407-654-2626, 407-654-2626.